again and welcome back to the channel. So today I've gone back to my 1/6 scale collection for another Hot Toys review. This time it is Daredevil as he appeared in the original Daredevil Netflix TV show. Had this figure in my collection for a number of years now and really happy with it. I probably won't need to upgrade this figure, particularly not with the Daredevil that's being released from the She-Hulk. Wasn't really a fan of what they did to the character in that TV show, and I'm also not a fan of that colour scheme, so this is probably the only Daredevil I'm going to need. Taking a look at the packaging, it's really simplistic but it really works. This deep red, nice big image of the figure there, Daredevil, and then they even have Braille here across the bottom. He is a TM, not a movie masterpiece series, I'm assuming that's for TV, and then 003, and on the side some more Braille here, and then on the back everyone that was involved with making this figure. So quite a simplistic box. This is empty, but let's check out the figure. Okay, so here is Daredevil with all of his accessories. Unfortunately, I did get mine secondhand. Although he's in near mint condition, it was missing the city backdrop. I'll see if I can get an image of that and put it up on the screen. But other than that, I have all of the accessories, including a battle-damaged faceplate, broken down billy clubs, extended billy club, billy clubs in nunchuck mode, a left gesturing hand, a right splayed hand, left gripping hand, and a right gripping hand. In addition, Daredevil also comes with a really cool base and diorama. So the base itself has a couple of different modes. There's the default mode, which is this nice Daredevil faceplate version of the front, and then it has this like a city sort of imprint, and then it has the crotch grabber. Or it has another mode where you get this piece which sort of goes at the back like that, and then this really cool sculpted piece of rooftop, I guess. So it has this really cool damaged brickwork and some pipe work, and then loads of glass and just bits of shit all over the place. It must be there actually a street, because it has a drain there as well, so not a rooftop. And the back as well, it also has this really nice detailed brick, and you just sort of pop that at the back, or I usually cover the hole for the crotch grabber, and then you have a really cool diorama. So the actual figure it's very simplistic, but it's also very detailed. I guess what I mean by that is the suit is really detailed, but it's simplistic in that it's only really two colors. You have this deep wine red, or this burgundy, and the black. That's it. That's all the colors that you have, but that is exactly what it's like in the TV show. And then you have the faceplate itself. I'll come to that in a moment. But it's also quite complex in that it is very detailed. If you look at the work on it, it has this real intricate armor. It's like an armor padding, and then these panels all over. These are all raised paneling, and then this very slightly raised, it's almost like a Kevlar jacket across the top. The boots as well are very well done. Haven't seen boots like this on a 1/6 scale figure before. So they're essentially split into two. You can see here that at the ankle, if you have it like that, you know, it just looks like a normal boot, but it is completely articulated. It's on a ball joint, and you can get a lot of movement from it. It does look a little bit unsightly if you have it like this, but you can move the top portion of the boot down to meet it. So if you manipulate it in the right way, you can get some really cool dynamic poses, and it doesn't look too bad. So the boots are really well done. They're also very nicely sculpted. The treads have got all sorts of dirt and muck all over them, and it has this nice dry brush all across the detailing, all across the boot, so you can see the detailing. So you can see the laces here and all of the treads. Really nice. Then also on his left thigh here, he has a holster for the billy clubs, and you can actually get the billy clubs in. It is a little bit snug, but I tend to just feed it in this way. So from the bottom up, there we are, and then the smaller one as well. Yeah, it's very, very snug, and you can actually damage some of the paint if you're a little bit too heavy-handed, so just be careful about that. And then you come to the face plates. Now, you can only really see the bottom half, but for me, you can tell who it is. You can really, really tell straight away. One thing that is a little bit creepy is if you remove the helmet, which you obviously need to, and then the faceplate, you have this really horrible looking figure. I mean, it's something about that just looks super, super creepy. Anyway, so quick look at the helmet. This is really well done. It's a solid plastic, and it also has these lenses for the eyes. You can't actually make out the eyes behind the lenses, or at least I can't, but from a distance it catches the light really, really well. And the face plates literally just slot onto the actual figure. So the default face plate is this one here. Really, really well done. You can see the 5 o'clock shadow that he has, just a straightforward neutral look. And then the battle damaged one, again 5 o'clock shadow, but he has a blood mark coming out the cheek and then the side of the mouth, and then even a little bit on the nose there. And the teeth, probably can't really tell in this light. Let's see if I can get a better angle. The teeth are really well sculpted, and they have this slight gloss to them. When he's standing in certain positions, you can see the gloss on the teeth, and it just looks really, really cool. It looks like he's super pissed off, super menacing, which is exactly what you want. And these just fit onto that panel there. So it literally just fits straight on, and then the helmet, or rather the cowl, just goes straight down. And there you have it. And then likewise for the other plate, pop it straight on. And I imagine the newer version that Hot Toys are releasing from She-Hulk will work in much the same way. I had a quick look at that figure, and it does look like an identical version of this one, just different paint applications, or rather different costume, different color of costume. Everything else seems to be the same. The figure is also really, really poseable. For what is essentially a clothed figure, you know, it has a bit of restriction here and there, but they've done a fantastic job. A figure like Daredevil, and also I'm thinking about the Spider-Man figures, they have to be really, really creative with the costume, because you're going to want a lot of posability, particularly with Spider-Man. Daredevil's not far off either. You're going to want him in different dynamic poses, and if his suit is just going to hinder him, it's just really, really going to let the figure down. But this is not like that at all. They've done a fantastic job. So in terms of the articulation, he gets a full range of movement for the head, all the way down and all the way up. He gets complete rotation as well. The shoulder, all the way up to there. The arm, about there, and then back to about there. He has a double jointed elbow. Now, it's important to note that even though he does have a lot of range of movement in the suit, I probably wouldn't keep him in one exaggerated pose or one dynamic pose for too long, just because I don't want the suit to bunch up. And then at the wrist, complete range of motion on the peg as well. He gets a huge amount of ab crunch for a suited figure, and all the way back. It's worth noting as well that you could probably manipulate this as well, because it is two separate pieces. You can manipulate the jacket and the trousers. So if you wanted to get him into an even more dynamic pose, you could probably bunch this up at the side, and it would give you a high range of motion as well. And then at the legs, all the way up to about there, out to about there. You could probably get a little bit more than that, but it is starting to stress the stitches here on the inside of the trousers. And then back to about there. He has a double jointed knee, ever so slightly restricted, not by the knee pad, but by the bunching here for the suit. But you can get a good range of motion. And then, as I said earlier, fantastic articulation for the boot. Gets a lot of rotation, but also it is that complete range of movement on the peg that's really beneficial to this figure. And this version of Daredevil is part of the MCU, so if you want to have him posed up with your other MCU characters, you can. So here he is with Iron Spider, Ant-Man, and Tony Stark. Doesn't really work well with Tony Stark. He looks massive by comparison, but still, there you go. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Hot Toys Daredevil. This is without a doubt one of my top 10 favourite figures. Everything about it just works. I liked it the moment that I got it, and I still like it now. The suit is very simplistic, but very well made, and it doesn't hinder the articulation at all. He's a little bit light with the accessories, but I don't know what else you would really need. The one thing that the new figure has over this one is that one comes with a completely unmasked head sculpt, which would have been nice here. Maybe that's something I'll see if I can source by itself and add it to this figure. The diorama base is also excellent. It's very, very fitting to this figure. Unlike some of the other figures where they have huge diorama bases which can get in the way, this is also quite small and simplistic, so it just really, really works. One thing which I didn't mention before was my figure actually came with a hand that was missing, and I easily sourced a complete set of new hands on eBay for probably around $80 or $90. The figure itself is a little bit harder to find. If you are interested, then I'd probably suggest you wait. I know that Netflix are going to release, or Disney Plus rather, are going to release the new Daredevil. I think it's called Born Again. It's almost guaranteed we're going to get some new editions of this figure from Hot Toys, probably in this nice red suit as well. So I'd probably just sit on it and wait, because this figure can go for around $500 to $600 on the aftermarket. So if you're after a Daredevil and you don't like the red and yellow that's been released from She-Hulk, maybe wait and see what comes in the next year or so. Well, that about wraps up this review. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you have, do give this video a like, and please do consider subscribing. It really does help me grow my channel and put more content out like this. So until next time, take care.